Hello everybody and welcome back to another NZ Wild Adventure. In part 2 I'm just going to be heading up into High Country Lake, which is up there somewhere. It's about 8 kilometres, 300 metres of elevation. Just going to do some hunting, see what it's about, look at the scenery, a couple nights and then head back down to the hut. So join us. So just up there and to the right is about 8 kilometres and 300 metres elevation. There's hardly any wind today and it's hot. It's looking nice. Now just sidling along this, and then the lake is around the corner, up the valley. Well, nothing obvious, so I'm just going to continue up this valley. It's about 3 kilometres and 200 metres vertical to get to the lake. Just more sidling around here till I get into the valley, and then just up the valley and there's the lake around there. The lake's just up there. 2 kilometres to go. Some footprints. Still haven't seen the animals today. That's right. Still time. There's a seagull. And I was not expecting the lake to be frozen, but that lake is very frozen. Hilarious. I made it to the lake, it's very frozen, so now I'm just going to set up camp and have a glass, eat some food. Let's go see how strong this lake is. How it is, bro. It's pretty cool. I haven't been on a lake like this since Iceland. Water. Right, camp's all set up. Now I'm going to make some ravioli. First up we're going to make our pasta dough. This is just pure plain white flour. Don't have any measuring stuff, so I'm just going to pour some out. That looks like a good pile. Then you take your fresh free-range eggs. Make a little hole in the middle. Oh no, eggs running away. Mix that in. This is going everywhere. So now we pour a small amount of water on and form it into a nice dough. It has been a while since I last did this, so it'll be interesting to see how it turned out. Still a little bit dry, so just a bit more water. Need some more purchase. Right, so now we just knead it into a nice smooth dough. I'd say that's looking pretty good. Alright, now I'll set that aside for half an hour. So now I'm going to prepare some sort of sauce for the ravioli. Diced raw onions. I'll put that there. That'd be interesting. An interesting shot. Some butter. Some garlic. Pop the onions in. Squash the garlic to help you peel it. Chuck that in too. Get those onions are sweating. Right, we've got a whole lot of tomato paste. And beef goulash, so I think that could taste quite nice. We're also going to chuck some tar in. So this is the rump. Select a nice cut. We'll sort of just chop this into small pieces. Alrighty, this is getting nice and sweety. Yep, now I can chuck the meat in. Gonna want to chuck some salt in. Right, now we can go in with our flavouring. And what thing isn't better with paprika? The more the merrier, right? And because I'm so healthy, I'm going to add some spinach. You know what I should do? Right, we'll just simmer that for a little while. Nothing like a clean chopping board, is there? Right, so what you do next is you grab your pasta maker. Clamp it onto your rock. Like so. Actually, there's not very much, is it? So I'll try half. It can be difficult to get it through the first time. Put it through your pasta maker. Don't worry if the first pasta's a bit lumpy. You've got to go through a few times to make it smooth. Put flour on your pasta every now and then, otherwise it'll stick on. Can't have that, can we? I'm going to flour that bad boy up. So you get your pasta roller. To make the pasta, you just shove it through the pasta maker. So you got the fresh egg noodles and the sauce simmering. Alright, while we wait for that water to boil, I'll start making some ravioli. Now bear in mind that I've actually never made ravioli before, so this will be interesting, and I don't really know. Maybe we should just call it something else. Maybe we'll just call it cheese-filled pasta. That sort of shape. Whack a bit of cheese in there. Pineapple up. You know what? I've got some brie. So I'm going to put some brie in some of them. That'll be interesting, won't it? Now we just get our other piece and whack it on top, like that. Oops! Situation's got under control. Oops. Or is it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is not ravioli. But I think it's gonna taste good anyway. So. Right, so we get our little square of pasta, plonk our cheese in the middle, and get another little square of pasta and plonk it on the other side. And now we've got a little pasta sandwich. The water's boiling, so I'm just gonna chuck this pasta in first. Get that back on the boil. That was exciting, wasn't it? Right, we'll check the cheese sandwiches in. We'll try 4 to start with. Righty, that's enough cooking for those. You know what, I think there's enough cheese sandwiches for tonight. So I have the last of the cheese sandwiches for tomorrow. Save these for tomorrow. Got your cheese sandwiches on the board. Now you just want to skip your sauce. Minus the grass. Right on top. Once we've done that, we'll just grab our grated cheese and sprinkle it on. Cheese sandwiches and tomato sauce. Or should we actually call it ravioli? I don't think so. Hilarious, but it does look good, doesn't it? Right, so now I'll actually eat it. Mmm. Ooh, that's nice. Yeah, that was really bloody nice actually. So, in the next few days I'll actually do some hunting though. It doesn't look like there's much sign here, which is interesting. Like there's quite a lot of snow and there's no tracks in it. No poop either. So I might have come to the wrong place again. But tomorrow I'll head over that ridge, see what's on the other side. And then the next day probably head back. But if I can't find anything tomorrow, I'll just head back to the hut tomorrow as well. But yeah, now the sun's gone, it's getting rather cold. Oh yeah, and I also didn't check the long-term weather forecast before I came up, so it's anyone's guess what's going to happen actually. As soon as the sun went away, it froze over again. Just gonna get some more water. I just had some rocks falling, so I'll just go have a quick look. It sounded like from up here somewhere. It's a bit dark actually, so I'll just look in the morning. So good night. Righty-ho, it's the morning of the next day. It's another cracker day, but there's not many. Doesn't look like there's many animals around, so I'll slowly make my way back to the hut, I think. Having a good glass on the way back. See what's on the other side there. So there are animals here. Just sort of up on the ridgeline above camp, about 800 meters away. So it's cool. It's nest. It's quite gusty now, so every now and then it's really cold, but then the rest of the time it's really hot. So it's tricky. I'm just making my way up this hill, slowly but surely. Looks like there's a bit of cloud coming across, so we'll see how the day turns out. But I think later on I'll just head down that ridge back to the hut. Good glass here. From the path that I saw it this morning. But there don't seem to be any animals up here, and the wind is freezing, so I'm probably just going to head back slowly, get out of this wind. So I'm going to head up there onto that ridge and then go down on that ridge. Can't win with this wind. It's either on or off, and either hot or cold. Ain't nobody got time for that. So that's the lake that I stayed at yesterday, down there. That was the tent. This morning I've just been walking up onto that ridge, walking along the ridge, up to the peak, down this ridge. Now I'm just going to walk down this ridge, all the way back down to the valley, and the hut is around the corner. But I have a bit of a glass here before I head all the way down. There could be something in this valley down here. surprisingly not that many animals. Kind of would have thought it'd be quite tarry or chamois or something. Still nothing about. There's the hut down there. Right, had some leftovers for lunch and just had a good glass, but still nothing, so just head back down. Hut, sweet hut. Well, I just got rudely awakened at 8 by a helicopter dropping off some dock workers putting out poison bags for possums. But we had a little talk and they've informed me that the weather's going to turn nasty over the next couple of days. Like snow to sea level and big westerlies. So yeah, we'll see what we do. I've decided that she'll be right. So I'm just going to pack up and head across to the next valley over and see if there's any animals around, and then bunker down for the weather. Remember to always write your intentions in the intentions book. Alrighty, all packed up. Now I'm going to head up and over there. Right, a classic late start. It's 10:30, but it's still pretty nice. It is kind of windy though. Wish I could do that. It's a fatty boy game trail. Just up there is where I shot the tahr, and then I gutted it just down there. My new hunting grounds. Less snow than I was expecting actually. Just have a good glass. So the plan is just head down the sidle across that ridge over there, take the ridge down to the valley, and hopefully that's a bit more sheltered for when the weather comes in, which is still holding off, but it is getting colder definitely. This tahr just there. Cloud iridescence, I haven't seen that in New Zealand before. It's really cool. Still nothing down low, which is interesting. I would have thought there'd be like a something around. There's tahr way up high, but nothing else. I mean, that's all of the game trails. Going to get some water because clever Tasman parked at the top of the hill. Might be needing a new one of these soon. Right, set it, camp, tent. It's nearly 7, so, and it doesn't really look like there's any animals around. It looks, there's no sign of deer or big game or anything, so that's a bit sad. It would have been nice to take a meat animal home, but that's right, maybe tomorrow won't be as bad as they said it was. I'll have a good glass all down here just before it gets dark. Time for a cuppa. A simple stir fry with some Tahr back steak, onion of course, and noodles I think. So I put some water and some coconut cream powder in the meat, make it a bit saucy for the noodles. Believe me, it tastes better than it looks. And it's good night and we'll see you in the morning. Well, it's 7:30 and it's been snowing alright, but the wind has died down, which is nice. Yeah, much snow. Definitely a tent day today. Well, the sun's just come out actually. Quite different from yesterday. It looks nice. Well, today turned out a lot better than I was expecting. It was just a little bit of snow overnight. Maybe 8 to 10 centimetres. But pretty light. It looks like it's finished up really. It looks like it's sort of moving off that way. Well, it looks like there isn't anything kicking about, so I think I will head out today. It's 6 k's back to the car, so should be a couple of hours, and see if there's any geese on the way down. They shouldn't be nesting yet. I think they've just paired. I think they've paired up, but I don't think they're nesting yet. And away we go. There's a goose on the bank just over there, about 800 meters away. So. It's our first target. There's a goose down at 150 meters, just across the lake. So it's going to blow down to the end, so I'll just walk there and meet it there. It's caught up in a bush just over there, so I just have to scramble through there to get it. So it should be just through there. That could be solid bush. So that went pretty smoothly, except for the Matagari. The shot was in through one wing and out the top, so broke its backbone. Should be a good shot for meat. Yes, I'm very pleased with that. There won't be any lead in the meat either with the buns, copper bullets. Yeah, see how much of this down I can keep. My sleeping bag needs a bit more fill, because it looks like good goose down. This is going everywhere, but it looks like really good down. It's not super fat, but my eyes are going to be a succulent. Legs. There's a lot of feathers on a goose. The goose is going to be yummy, and hopefully I can use it down for my sleeping bag. So we'll just head up to towards the car, see if there's another goose in the way. Unfortunately, I might have got the time of year slightly wrong. Looks like the other one is, that one's partner is sitting on a nest, so I'll shoot that one too. I don't think the babies all have hatched yet, so it'll just be eggs. So I'll just shoot the partner so it doesn't, struggle by itself. It's just over there. It's a pretty good shot. Take the eggs too. They're big. There's 4 eggs, and after doing a rudimentary candle with my torch, they look completely undeveloped, which is good. So they must only just have laid them. Hardly any wiggle inside my gigantic cup. So I think that's I'll take them out. This one must be the female because she's already plucked quite a lot of the down off her front. Well, it's just started snowing lightly, so I might head out. But if you enjoyed this episode, please feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you again next time. That looks nasty. How quickly things can change the way. And back to blue skies again.